తర్వాత సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ చేంజ్ అవబోతుంది, పొలిటికల్ ఆర్డర్ కూడా చేంజ్ అవబోతుంది. కాబట్టి పోస్ట్ కోవిడ్-19 తర్వాత మనము ఎట్లాంటి రీస్కిల్లింగ్ తీసుకోవాలి, ఎట్లాంటి అప్ స్కిల్లింగ్ చేసుకోవాలి, దీంతో పాటుగా ఇప్పుడున్నటువంటి ఈ ఫ్రీ టైం ని మనం ఎంత ఎఫిషియెంట్ గా వాడుకోవాలనేటటువంటి ఉద్దేశంతో సో వీ హ్యావ్ కన్వీన్డ్ దిస్ మీటింగ్. సో దానికి సంబంధించి కొంతమంది ఇప్పుడు ఎవరెవరైతే ఇప్పుడు సార్ మీరు మాట్లాడండి సార్, మీరు మాట్లాడిన తర్వాత దెన్ వి విల్ ఆస్క్ సమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆల్సో సార్.
All right, JVM everybody. So thank you very much for inviting me to this meeting.
Sir,
I'm very happy to see all the Swaeros from different parts of the country, and then I don't know, some people might be attending to this conference from different parts of the world as well. So I thank Mr. Prabhakar Choti for organizing this, and then I'm very happy that you have clearly mentioned in your agenda that the COVID crisis and then post-COVID scenario as well.
sir.
So how do we spend our valuable time during this crisis? So without taking much of your time, because Zoom meetings have their own limitations, so I want to be very brief. See friends, I'm reading a book currently. It's a Telugu book, Lokam Chuttina Veeralu. So finished a great book. So it's about 800 pages. I finished this book. This is on a famous Chinese leader called Deng Xiaoping, a man who brought almost 60 crores of Chinese population out of poverty. So the number of people in China in 1978 below poverty line were 90%. It was 90% according to World Bank estimates. But today it is not more than 5%. It's all because of this man, Deng Xiaoping. And to be very honest, he never went to university. He was an army general, and then he was a soldier basically. But from being a soldier, he goes to all countries and then develops so much of knowledge, about the world economy, about world leaders, and then develops a lot of contact knowledge. And then he opens up China since in 1978. And today, whatever you see in China, the entire development in China, it's all because of this great man, this Deng Xiaoping. I finished this book, so I'm really happy to share this with you. Then I also have read this book. This is written by Atul Gawande. It's about 200 pages. I have also shared. I gave a review of this book in what to say. I gave a video to Michael to share it with all the people as to what I have learned by reading this book. So Atul Gawande is another very important book. It's called as Checklist Manifesto. Everyday life, if you have to live with a lot of discipline, if you have to maximize and optimize and maximize your time, I think you need to have a checklist of your own. The checklists are very important for aircraft pilots, fighter jet pilots, then doctors in operation theaters, and then the famous engineers in the great buildings, and then dams. So in life, if you have checklists for every activity, your failure rate will be zero, literally zero. So that is what I have learned in this book. And then the third book that I have read is developing talent in young people. This is again an amazing book. So I really loved reading it. It talks about neurosurgeons, talks about pianists, and then talks also about the sports persons. So everybody has a talent, and then if you can really nurture that talent, it is more for parents basically, not for young people to develop the talent. And this is the book. And then I'm also reading a book with my iPad. So by iPad, the title of the book is The Richest Man in the World. So very amazing book. So this is how I'm spending time besides doing all the homework. So we assisting my wife and my daughter. So I'm also reading these books and also doing a lot of exercise within the home without going out, and then staying connected by talking to all the youngsters and then future leaders and then future prime ministers, future scientists, future economists, then future vice chancellors like you, future IAS, IPS like you. So I'm very happy. So please spend your time meaningfully. So this is a once in lifetime opportunity. never in our lives we thought that we would be, seeing a lockdown like this. I, as a police officer, I enforced curfew in Hyderabad city because of communal rights. But that curfew was imposed only to save lives of people from killing each other. So, but this is not like that. We are fighting an invisible enemy. So, and probably since 1918, and even today, till today, probably never we have seen this kind of emergency. So, please, you are where you are asked by the government to stay at home, as Prabhakar rightly said. So this is post COVID also, world is not going to be same, and it is going to be radically different. And let me tell you, yesterday I was reading a presentation by London Business School. I've shared it with Mr. Prabhakar and Madhuri also. So what it says is all those people, white collared workers, the people in high salary brackets, will continue to work from home by using apps like Zoom or Splendo or all those apps from home, Skype or whatever. And then the people who are not that educated, people who are semi-educated, and then people whose presence is very much required every day, all such people will continue to hit the roads and then continue to become vulnerable for the days to come. So my request to all of you is that, how do you keep yourself engaged? How do you learn as many skills as possible? So Harvard Business School has thrown its free online courses open, and then a lot of universities, top-notch universities in the West, they have thrown their courses open to everybody. So please, make advantage of these opportunities and then do very important courses. You cannot do every course, like you cannot read all the books. So make use of this opportunity and write as much as you can. Improve your writing, both Telugu and English writing skills. Improve your language, spoken and then written. So, and then have a nice timetable, personal timetable. If you want, I can share how astronauts plan their time in the International Space Station. I have that article I can share with Mr. Prabhakar. I have a lot of good articles with me, so I can share all those things with the Prabhakar, wherein you can circulate among all our persuaders. So after COVID, after this lockdown ends, all of you must be Avatar 2, version 2.0. For example, it is Narsana 2.0. Ande Ajay, Palle Ajay 2.0. Okay. If it is Varalakshmi Komu 2.0. Okay. If it is Rajkumar 2.0. So your version has to be different. For that, you need to work day and night. Now there is no force of examination. There is nothing but. So you have to compete with yourself. That is what I wanted to say. So Prabhakar, I think I'll stop here. So now we'll listen to all other colleagues.
Sir, one more question. So
Yes.
I'll ask some questions, then we'll follow up the reactions of them, sir. What could be the best possible timetable for one person who is sitting at home, sir?
Yeah, very good question, Andy. So first of all, the best possible timetable is first activity must be draw your own timetable. Okay. So drawing your own timetable, which is very realistic, which is very pragmatic, is one. Okay. The two is following the timetable, and then what are the identifying the most critical activities. For example, for me, the most critical activity is physical exercise. I treat myself with morning, 45 minutes exercise, evening 45 minutes exercise, right? Then second thing is attend to office work online. So I have e-office, electronic office. So I work online during working days. And otherwise also I work online. Then third most important activity is, create projects. If I have some projects, dream projects, I can use this opportunity to create projects. I can write, I can plan for future. After 5 years, where do I want to be? After 10 years from now, where do I want to be? So you can create these projects. Fifth one is you have lunch by then. So writing and creating aspect must happen in the morning times. This is my sincere request. Then, because creating something new requires a tranquil brain. So early mornings till 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., 11 a.m., please focus on writing and creating something new. Then evening after lunch, then take a fun activity like doing books like this. then read as much as you can. By the time it will be fine. If you want to take a nap, if you want to sleep for a while, you sleep. That's okay. So I just had a nap of 30 minutes. That's okay. So after that, again, you come back on the screen, and then while you read, please make notes, a little bit of notes. Then try to find different connections from different subjects. So this is very important. I read Howard Gardner's Multiple Intelligence, Five Minds for Future. One of the most important minds is synthesizing mind. Synthesizing mind is like, suppose if you're reading mathematics, how do you apply mathematics in history? How do you apply mathematics in economics? How do you apply mathematics in biology? So suppose if you're reading I'm reading a book by Telugu book by an IIT professor, Dr. Srinivas Chakravarti, Sukshma Krimuలు. This is so relevant, a so well written book, and the cost of this book is, this is a translation of Isaac Asimov, a famous science writer, just 25 rupees. So which is run by Manchi Pustakam. So just 25 rupees, within 1 hour you can complete this book and apply it on some other things. So afternoons always focus on reading, and you'll be sleepy in the afternoons because you have reasonably good lunch. So sleep. Then around 6 p.m. then 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. You can do stationary exercise or yoga or workouts, and like Nelson Mandela. So he was locked up in a cell for 27 years. I repeat, 27 years. So till 27 years, even those 27 years, he never forgot the physical exercise. That's why when he was released from the prison, he was very active, and then he lived up to almost 95 years. So physical fitness is very important. At night, evenings, then you start reflections. So what all you have done in the morning, like morning you are writing, then evening exercises, worksheets, practice, all that. So evening, by the time it is 8 or 9, because by the time you take dinner, so it will be around 8. So evening you reflect. The reflection is writing and closing your eyes, and then recapitulation, and then what are the new things that you have discovered. So all that you should be able to do when you hit the evening zone. So this is what, but it depends. Like some people are nerds by nature. Some people are all-nighters. Like some people are nocturnal creatures. Some people are very good at morning. Some people are very good in the evening. Some people are good in the afternoons. So it all depends. But some of you are, this is a very important time for all of us to go back to the basics. So now read about Indian. I just read a book. I'm reading a Telugu book. So this is about 3 people. One is Vasco da Gama. One is Christopher Columbus. Second is Vasco da Gama. Third is Magellan. These are the 3 people who opened up the entire Europe to the world. So they discovered American continent. They discovered Malaya continent, Malaya islands. They discovered all the routes to the locum Chutinavirlu. So globe, trotting the globe. So navigation. So in those days, when there was no internet, when there was no Zoom call, and then these people explored the entire great oceans and then showed a way to humanity. So of course, the sad thing is, after that, all of us we became colonized by our European powers. But there's a sad thing. But the salute to these 3 people. They opened up their continent. They paved way for those continent kings and queens to rule the world. So can we be like that? Can we be explorers like that? So this is a time to go back to the basics also. My NCERT books, history books, critical books, not chetta books. So మన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ప్రభాకర్ ఏం తప్పు చేస్తున్నారంటే, చదవండి జ్ఞానయుద్ధం అంటే చాలా అంబేద్కర్ బుక్ లేకపోతే కాంశీరామ్ బుక్ పట్టుకొని ఫోటోలు దిగి పంపిస్తున్నారు. అది ఒక్కటే కాదు, అంబేద్కర్ బుక్లు చదవాలండి, కాదనట్లేదు. సో we must know Ambedkar also, but there are so many books with so much of knowledge in so many fields we are missing. Only focus Ambedkar, WhatsApp photo పెట్టండి, లైక్లు వస్తే లైక్లు, లేకపోతే లేదు కాడికి వచ్చేసింది స్టోరీ. నో, read economic. I gave you a book, Poor Economic by Aldrich Energy. What a great book it is. I don't know whether you have read it or not.
I read it, sir.
I read a book written by Jim Collins, Good to Great. What a fascinating book it is. So read so many books, and then రేపొద్దున మన ప్రపంచం నీకు అంబేద్కర్ మీద ఎంత తెలుస్తుందా అనేది చూడరు. నీ వీడికి అసలు లోక జ్ఞానం ఎట్లుంది. రేపొద్దున ఒక పాండమిక్ ఇట్లా వస్తే వీడు డొనాల్డ్ ట్రంప్ పొజిషన్లోనో నరేంద్ర మోడీ పొజిషన్లో ఉంటే ఎట్లా దీన్ని ఎట్లా అవాయిడ్ చేస్తాడు? ఇతను ఒక నాయకుడు అంటే ఏంటి? హౌ డు యూ అవాయిడ్ ద క్రైసిస్? On one hand, you have people dying. On the other hand, you have no medical supplies, and then you have no time. and then your enemy is unknown, and then there is no vaccine. How do you overcome this tragedy? See German people, how they are, fighting with the minimum fatality they are fighting. How South Korean people, how Taiwanese people, small tiny countries. So this is kind of knowledge that is required. ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అమాయకంగా అంబేద్కర్ చదవాలి, జేబీ మనాలి, బుద్ధిజం చదవాలి, అయిపోయింది అంతా మన పని అయిపోయింది బాబు, ఈ ఫోటో పెట్టినాము అయిపోయింది అనుకుంటున్నారు. రాంగ్. That is not the Swaero Students Union's job. Swaero Students Union ante you should be the best brains in the world wherever you are. So I will stop here, Prabhakar. So I repeat, morning creation, afternoon exploration, and then evening reflection. And in the meantime, 3 times you can do
one more question most people ask it, sir.
Yes.
What kind of the sectors would be in swing after COVID-19, sir? Like most of the people are going through with the traditional way of studying the courses, and most of the people are reskilling their skills only within the traditional sectors.
See, very good question, Andy. So, with limited knowledge, with the knowledge that I have gained and the knowledge which I have gained out of interactions with a lot of people, let me tell you very honestly. Coding, నేను మన పల్లె అజయ్ కూడా అదే చెప్పాను. Coding is evergreen sector. If you know how to think like a computer, computational thinking, that is decomposition, A, B, pattern recognition, C, algorithm, D, automation. These are the 4 computational thinking skills all of you must acquire. So first is logical thinking, second is coding. There are so many languages. Ajay has learned a lot of coding. So Ajay will be able to tell you what is Python, what is R, what is C++. And these are the languages, Java, all those things. These are the languages which are evergreen, and then they are going to rule the world for the next 50 years, and then they will become much more relevant in post-COVID scenario also. Okay. Then second is accounting, finance, economics, legal knowledge. They are evergreen, absolutely no compromise on that. Then working from home, remote locations, all these things are going to be, all white collar jobs are going to be absolutely fantastic. When I say white collar job, project management, okay, then finance, then operating the systems from remote. So these are the things. What are the areas where it takes things are not going to be like this. Maybe after 2 to 3 years it will be normalized. So but during that time, what are the areas, what are the sectors which are going to see a little dip in their demand is tourism. Nobody is going to visit the countries now. Then hospitality, nobody is going to stay in the hotels. So travel and tourism is going to take a huge hit. So they are not going to raise so easily because people will be very scared. Then healthcare sector will see a huge demand. So healthcare sector, because you need people who can come to your home, and then you need people who can supply supplies. You need people who can come up with a lot of creative solutions. You need people who understand biotechnology, biology, all these things. Will see a temporary demand very high, of course. But the evergreen is, I'm telling you, evergreen is coding, evergreen is teaching. But teaching online, again, like you can, if you become a great teacher, great lecturer, so if you can simplify the things, the complex things, and then you can convince people with a lot of examples. I think even without doing B.Ed, without doing M.Ed also, you can be a very good teacher online. Like that's what Unacademy does, that's what Udemy does, that's what Coursera does. So but you need to be a proficient. You cannot be faking the knowledge which you don't have actually. So you need to be a very proficient guy. So politics, of course, but you need to understand the basics of politics much better than anyone else. So I think it's too early to talk about but I can send you a presentation as to what are the sectors, how does a post-COVID world going to look like. I can tell you online also. So Forbes yesterday they came up with a very good analysis. World Economic Forum is doing. I have a McKinsey subscription. I can share all the articles how a post-COVID world is going to look like. So I can share all those things. It's too early to talk about it, but there is no depth of demand for white-collar jobs. But to get into white-collar jobs, you need to plan for great universities. You need to plan for a lot of online courses. You need to do a lot of experimentation on the ground. And then people cannot call you for physical interview in future. It's a gig economy. You are on your own. You know what is gig economy? I am sitting and then I'm working from my home and then I'm delivering the product. So you are going to have a lot of demand for gig economy because people don't want to move. Now nobody wants to go to China. You understand? Nobody wants to go to Singapore, or nobody wants to go to Italy, or nobody wants to go to France or Spain because there is COVID, and then there is a possibility of I am getting the pathogens back to my country, and the countries also will not. And then after that, you come back, and then you have to stay in quarantine for 14 days, and then who wants to risk his life in quarantine for 14 days? So that's not going to happen. So I think if you do a little bit of, if you stretch your imagination a little bit higher, I think